In order to pull personalized data into your presentation, you first need to connect Matik to your data sources. To add a new data source, navigate to the Data Sources tab at the top of the page within Matik. From here, click on the Add New option and choose the applicable data source type from the list of drop-down options. The most common data source types are a data warehouse, a Google Sheet, a BI tool like Tableau, or a CRM platform like Salesforce. We'll start by talking about how to connect to a data warehouse. Matik connects to a variety of data warehouses, and each will require a custom configuration which we outline in our Help Center. For this example, we will walk through how to connect to Redshift. All data sources first require you to name them. Fields for each data source type will vary based on the data source's requirements for verification and connection. Connecting to a Redshift data warehouse requires a host URL, host port, username and password for the account that you will be using to access the data source, and the name of the specific data warehouse you want to connect to Matik. All of these fields can be found in your Redshift instance. Some data source types may offer multiple ways to connect. For Redshift, you also have the option to connect via an SSH tunnel, skip an SSL certificate check, and require end users to log in to access this data source, which is optional. When connecting to a data source, we recommend either leveraging an existing account used for integrations or creating a new account for the specific purpose of pulling data into your presentations via Matik. We also recommend that you whitelist the set of Matik domains on your data warehouse to enable access and pass any security restrictions on your end. To reduce the risk of losing access to the data warehouse due to individual employee departures and make it easier to transfer ownership of Matik to a new admin, we recommend creating an integration user account when you connect. If you would like more information on the various data warehouses that Matik connects to, check out our Help Center's Data Sources section. Remember to test your connection and press Add Data Source to save the data source. You can also connect Matik to apps like Salesforce and pull data from them into your presentations. First, you'll need to navigate to the Data Sources page in Matik and select Salesforce as the data source type you want to connect to. Name the data source and then select the instance type you'd like to connect to, either production or sandbox. When you click Connect to Data Source, a pop-up will appear and prompt you to log into your Salesforce account in order to authenticate it with Matik. You can use your SSO or your login credentials to connect. You can also enable an optional feature to require your end users to log in to their Salesforce accounts before they're able to generate a presentation in Matik, to add an extra layer of security. Our recommendation is to always either leverage an existing account used for integrations or to create a new service account for this connection to Matik. Remember to test your connection and press Add Data Source to save your work.
Connecting to Gainsight is similar to connecting to Salesforce. First, navigate to the Data Sources page and click on Add New. Select Gainsight under the Data Source Type field and give the data source a name. Enter your Gainsight base URL and scroll down and enter your Gainsight API key. If you would like to require your end users to log into their Gainsight accounts before generating presentations in Matik, click this checkbox. Finally, remember to test your connection and click Add Data Source to save. To connect to HubSpot, navigate to the Data Sources page and click on Add New. Select HubSpot from the drop-down Data Source Type and name your data source. If you would like to require your end users to log into their HubSpot accounts before generating presentations in Matik, click this checkbox. Click on Connect to Data Source and enter your HubSpot credentials if prompted. Select the HubSpot account you would like to use with Matik and click Choose Account. Give the Matik app permission to connect to HubSpot. The pop-up window will then close, meaning that your HubSpot data source has been connected.
Matik is compatible with business intelligence, or BI platforms, such as Looker and Tableau. When connecting to either of these, our recommendation is to always either leverage an existing account used for integrations or to create a new service account for this distinct purpose. To connect to Looker, you will need to first navigate to the Data Sources tab and select Looker as the data source type. Provide a name for the data source in Matik, and then populate the Looker base URL, client ID, and client secret fields. To generate a client ID and client secret, you will need to have an admin account in Looker and follow the steps provided there. All of these fields listed on this page can be found in your Looker instance. To connect to Tableau, select Tableau as the data source type, name the data source, and enter a base URL, which can be found in the URL of your Tableau instance. You can optionally include a site name as well. This is located in the same place as your base URL. Finally, provide your Tableau username and password to finish setting up the data source connection. Remember to test your connection and press Add Data Source to save your work. To connect to a Google Sheets, first navigate to Data Sources in Matik and select Google Sheets as your data source type. Connecting to a Google Sheets requires that you first connect your Google account to Matik. This account should have access to the Google Sheets that you are connecting to Matik. To do this, click on the Connect to Google button towards the bottom of the screen. A pop-up window will appear. Select the Google account you would like to connect to and click Allow. If checkboxes appear, ensure all are selected before clicking Allow. If you have given Matik access to your account, you will not see a pop-up, but instead be automatically redirected to your Google Drive, where you can select the Google Sheets you would like to upload to Matik. When you connect to a Google Sheets file, we will have access to all individual sheets within the file. Give the data source a name and determine whether or not you want end users to have to log in to their Google account before they can generate a presentation by checking this checkbox. Press Add Data Source to save your work.